All right, U.S. correspondent Rotimi Kade has been monitoring developments, and he joins us now live from New Jersey. Rotimi, great to have you on Newsday.
Good to see you again.
Great, same here. Now, when we look at what happened with this submersible in terms of description by analysts and experts, they're basically saying that it was a kit car built from Amazon parts. Observers say flimsy vessel using camping shop lights, off-the-shelf cameras, even a gamepad that cost about £42 on Amazon. Yet about $250,000, I believe, was supposedly spent on this. Just tell us what you're hearing about the flimsy nature of this submersible to begin with.
Well, first of all, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims, and it's really a great loss. Nobody ever expected that. After making almost like 46 expeditions in the last 2 years, that it'll come to an abrupt end. However, some of the new findings we're getting from the U.S. Navy after yesterday's announcement was that there was acoustic data that was gathered, and of course they found an anomaly that was very consistent with an implosion in the general vicinity of where the vessels was operating when the communications were lost. And experts actually said that you can lose communication and navigation at the same time. If you lose both, it means that there's an extreme catastrophic event that may have happened. Perhaps maybe that was being responsible for the implosion way before the search actually began. Experts actually said that while the submersible was making that descent to the bed of the sea, that the implosion, I should say, what actually happened, but no one can actually say for sure. But data is still being gathered in that regard to ensure that there's an accurate information or accurate figures that was given in regards to that.
All right, Rotimi, talk to us. Questions are being asked and all questions are being raised about the sub safety and how private sector deep sea expedition are being regulated.
Well, I think this is an eye-opener. The experts are now calling for a deep regulations of this kind of expeditions, because we have a couple of companies as well that's trying to engage in this kind of business. But for what we've gathered so far, that the materials that's used in building this particular Titan is not just cheap, but of course, there's been a lot of doubt about it. People who have experienced this kind of expeditions did have their own complaints. And I think all of that fall in deaf ears. But as a result of this, I think the government will have more oversight functions in ensuring the safety of the people that may want to engage in this in the future.
Now, let's turn our attention, Rotimi, to the visit of India's Prime Minister, that's Narendra Modi. How has this visit and his speech to Congress been received?
President Biden, during the White House briefing, actually said that there's no better time for India-U.S. relations. It's considering, how India has been operating in terms of being part of the BRIC nation. BRIC nation, that they have a different agenda, which is not in tandem with the U.S. International policies. And this visit, obviously, is to cement the relationships that may have been battered before. But U.S. Congress, especially the Republicans, are frowning against the idea of having the Indian Prime Minister hosted to that a very lavish state visit because of the administration's record in terms of human rights. There have been reports in India that minorities have been targeted by the Modi administration, especially Muslims and other minority religion. A question was posed to the Indian Prime Minister about whether it was tolerant in terms of sectant or religious, but he denied it and said India is a democratic state. They invite all and sundry in terms of religious freedom. But what's on ground currently is quite different from what the Indian Prime Minister is actually alluding to, and that's why the Congress members, some Congress members, don't want him to address the Congress, but he did anyways at the behest of the Speaker and, of course, the President.
All right, I want to say many thanks to you, Rotimi, for your time here, our correspondent in the U.S.